This is for the tactic heads like me. We're gonna be checking out how Erik Tenhag broke Guardiola's system, how he outsmarted him. Because obviously, bro, Man United won the FA Cup. I was elated. I'm a United fan since like 6 years old. So we're gonna watch this guy break it down. Yeah, let's go on.
But it was too late, and of course we're gonna dive into the goals as well.
Okay, let's see the tactics.
Tactics of the two teams.
We're not gonna watch the whole video. Just gonna see where he talks about that tactics.
Previously, if you think about how they set up and how other teams set up against Man City,
okay,
it is one where you kind of have
Rashford there,
and you have
Garnacho there, yeah,
and you play a bit further back.
What
Man United did, which was brilliant, was that they made the whole game played in this area of the pitch, and they said, "Wizard Pep Guardiola, otherwise known as, shall not come through the middle." So get rid of that. Guardiola was the out ball throughout the game, which I'll show you in just a second. Garnacho was staying very, very narrow, as was Rashford, incredibly narrow. Dalot staying in tight, giving Varane and Martinez that help. Wan-Bissaka staying really, really tight as well. And throughout the game, Guardiola was the out ball. Now, the one problem was that, of course, Ake will then come around here. Stones would come and play here. Walker actually played pretty centrally as well, actually, a lot of the time. And De Bruyne and Foden are the players that they want to get on the ball, but they weren't able to do it. They were isolated. Kovacic could have relieved that, and we'll get into that. But if you think about the general...
Where is Kovacic? Oh, there's Kovacic.
Man United team, that was the state of play.
No.
Do not let them through the centre of the pitch. Now, I think the thing that they were looking to do was to be able to move the ball quickly, make those short passes. That's what Guardiola's plan was, that if you have Walker a little bit tighter, Ake a little bit tighter, you can then move the ball quickly to Guardiola. Let me get on the ball here. To Guardiola if he's able to get it, and then you can play that ball into those half spaces, or Silva on the other side who can dribble, and he did at different times, and that's how you can hurt them. Or you can put those crosses into the back post. There was a moment where Kovacic actually made a third man run, and that kind of hurt them. But what I think he wanted to see was Kovacic picking up the ball here, or this. Another player, an extra player in the middle. Things had to change at half-time because, of course, they found themselves 2-0 down. But the out ball throughout was Guardiola. And this will show you it right here, right now, before we dive into the goals, of course. Now, so...
Is he going to play a video?
This is the starting position. And
it's a screenshot.
Kovacic here, instead of here as an extra player to
United
and thinking about how they're playing, exactly what we've just said.
They're tight because Rashford is usually
horseshoe that you get
on the line.
People being able to play through the centre of the pitch. Foden was unable to get on the ball much at all. The tenacity of Amrabat was fantastic. Haaland completely isolated, and when they did play the ball into him, his hold-up play was really, really poor. And as we said a couple of times, Guardiola always the out ball, but for Wan-Bissaka, you had the perfect person at right back. He was keeping an eye on him.
Guardian.
Him space. Because if you allow him to get the space, he's got the time to get over there. Guardiola, he's not really...
We've got
some other examples.
He's not really the best person there.
When it came to Man United, in terms of how they were going to move the ball and how they were going to create chances. This is a great example of it, where they actually really, really focused about staying together and kind of being compact but vertical. So if we do it this way,
because I'm seeing...
Again, so many players... in
red
on one side of the pitch. One person who was always going to offer up that little bit of width for them was Garnacho, who had an absolutely cracking game, who normally has about 0.95 shots on target per game. I got that stat from StatHead, by the way. Go check them out. Links in the
0.95
shots on target. And this is a great moment, actually, where the press is coming. I thought the press was poor, sorry. But you had options. You had 4 options.
Yes, 4 options.
Come back here as well. And, of course, that out ball if you needed it. Now, actually, they sucked in a couple of players, and then that ball was able to be made. And, actually, the ball got to Bruno Fernandes. And then again,
out to Garnacho.
Always there with Garnacho, be it him stretching it vertically or out wide. Let me show you another example of this. This is defensively the crucial element of it in terms of keeping Foden out of the game. You can see Kyle Walker very narrow here. Guardiola always the out ball.
Always the out ball.
Not allowing Foden to get on the ball. Kevin De Bruyne's not even looking at this stage because they're going to have to work their way back around. It was like from Guardiola a little bit, but it was absolutely the perfect plan for Man United against Man City when you're not going to have the ball. They didn't have the ball. I think they had 74% possession in this game. And he got his plan absolutely right. To have Amrabat and Kobbie Mainoo there to help
in the middle,
first minute of the game. Exactly.
Amrabat and Mainoo are a good duo.
Work down this side. Kobbie Mainoo can offer up as an option. Actually, I think that's Rashford coming to show as well. But a lot of players on one side of the pitch with that out ball always being
Garnacho
out here. And it worked. It allowed them to keep the ball, allowed them to move up the pitch at times really, really well, but it also kept them at bay. And I think a great way that I can show you this is the momentum bar. Because if you show you the momentum bar...
Let's see the momentum bar.
The higher the bar, the more effective the attacks from the opposition. In that first half, despite having the ball, and we can scroll down and look at the stats because I think it plays a part.
So City had the more attack momentum.
Being effective. And in that first half, Man City were not effective at all. Man United took their chances, got their chances, of course. And in the second half, changes were made. And the changes were absolutely crucial. Exactly.
And then the momentum went even
up.
I'm
surprised it even took him that long. One player that he took off, Kovacic, massively at fault for the second goal. Gvardiol, who did survive, was at fault for the first goal. So the first goal, let's have a look at it. So what's really important
the first goal, let's see.
The press of Man City being really poor, but a sort of, a positivity. I'm a massive fan of Amrabat. I really, really like him. I think he's a great player. And I thought what he did brilliantly, and again, this showcases what we've been trying to say a couple of times, is look how many players are on this side of the pitch.
Ooh.
Literally only got Garnacho out wide.
And Wan-Bissaka.
Guardiola's been playing here this whole time. He's got to get back. And that is always the big thing when it comes to how you can hurt them. The way you're able to hurt them is in transition. And having some bodies to get around them. And having that out ball as well. So Garnacho provided that throughout the game. But Amrabat, when he gets on the ball here, what's really, really important in terms of stretching them and allowing that pass to happen is that, the press is really poor from Man United. But what he does do is he gets the ball and I
think Pep's biggest mistake was buying flipping Kovacic. Because Kovacic was a Chelsea reject. Why would you go out and buy Kovacic?
For that pass straight away. Ake would have probably spotted that.
Yep.
But he wanted to play short to then play long. And what that does is it sucks in a couple of bodies.
Yep.
What Amrabat actually did was he drove with the ball to around here. Let me move it along one. You can see Amrabat is now here. And what it did was it just brought, and again, I thought it was a lethargic press from Man City. I think they thought they'd had it won before the game even kind of really kicked off. So to have that player dribble into this area of the pitch, it sucked 1, 2, 3, and actually 4 initially until the ball was then played back. So then plays that pass. Gvardiol, if you want to be super critical before the massive mistake that he makes, isn't totally in line with his back line. If he's on the other side of it, then maybe this whole thing doesn't happen. But it's a great pass from Delo. I thought it was fantastic. I think he's had a really, really good, solid season overall. And looking to find Garnacho. Obviously, you're not playing a striker, so to try and find him was a big part of it. Does do that, and of course we all
that ball from Delo was crazy.
Absolute disaster from Ortega, absolute
disaster from
Gvardiol in terms of that little header, and just trying to be that little bit too cute when you probably don't need to. Second goal is the one though. Second goal, we've alluded.
Let's see the second goal. We're seeing the second goal, and we are out of here. I don't want to eat into his views. I just wanted to see his breakdown.
Absolutely shocking from Kovacic in a cup final. It's I can't believe no one spotted it. So let's go back a little bit, okay? So, of course, the goal comes from, again, a team that's very narrow, out of possession, then breathing almost, going in and out and utilising width when they can.
Okay.
Again, we've spoken about it several times. Garnacho being an out ball, being an option. Obviously, you've got Rashford who actually played a little bit deeper in this one. Kobbie Mainoo, who, of course, we'll come on to, had a really great game in that double pivot. But the 4-2-2-2... out of possession, there was that width. There really, really was that width. And, of course, if we move it on one, you've got Kobbie Mainoo who makes that run, but obviously Bruno Fernandes crucial in this one. And Kobbie Mainoo gets the goal. And so from being really narrow, you've gone from one side of the pitch to the other
side of the pitch.
Yourself a goal. How did this happen? Well, We spoke about it a little bit.
Rodri was making an attack.
Tactically,
I remember that.
this is what they were trying to do, right?
Okay.
Kovacic was coming here a lot of the time to get that ball over to Guardiola.
Okay.
Take the highlight off him. What happened after a certain period of time, and of course the first goal has gone in by this point, and so now you've got to commit another body forward. Has Guardiola had a word with him? I don't know. There was actually a moment where Kovacic comes here and Ake's here, and Guardiola on the sideline is shouting at Ake saying, no, Kovacic, you should be in the middle here.
Okay.
Ake should be the pass here. He's seen the error of his ways, and if you think about the changes that were made, Divock Origi came on, Ake came off, Guardiola came here. Where's Doku? Doku came.
Bro said Divock Origi. Why? Why has Divock Origi got that smoke for no reason, bro?
On here, and it absolutely changed the game.
Okay.
Which came off. But if we go back, what actually happened in that period of time was that Rodri looked to get himself and be in that 10 position. So
okay.
Go back to what we had. Get Ake over here. Kovacic is here. Rodri has gone and made a run.
Oh,
here.
okay.
To the side here. Might even be out wide here. Forget Foden. Rodri gets to here. So now, with everything that's happening, Kovacic, you, my friend,
supposed to do what?
You are the DM. You are the last port of call.
The defensive midfield.
Team, that's fine. Make sure you win it. And if you don't win it, make sure you get back.
Get back.
Right. Let's go back to it. So Rodri has gone into, I guess, another 10 position to try and get around this very clever setup, narrow setup that Man United have put together and Erik Tenhag has put together. And he's driving with the ball. And if we move it along, as I've said, Kovacic is that man at the back. So if we move it on, this is the moment. And
it's back to Rashford.
Kovacic is looking at Bruno Fernandes in a cup final and in any game of football. God, and this is Sunday League. You go first 5 minutes. Who are our numbers? Who am I marking? Who's my man? Who's the guy that I'm going to get hammered for if I don't track his run? And the other thing I would say is that generally, if you're playing in a 2 in midfield, if your centre midfield partner is in front of you, then you're the last line of defence, and ultimately you sit and you stay. Again, if you want to press, so be it, but make sure you get back. Let's move it on. So this is a few seconds before Bruno Fernandes has the ball. Kovacic
passes it to Rashford.
Trying to keep him in there. Kyle Walker is ready to go at Rashford. All fine. That's okay. Bruno Fernandes is able to get the ball.
Is able to get the ball to mine.
Rodri is completely out of it at this point, and there's a lot of space to catch up with. And he has that look at him. If we go back to, you can see it. And then he's making his way. Kovacic has looked at him, and he's gone, "No, I don't really fancy tracking you back." 1-0 down. 38 minutes gone. And if we move it forward, all of a sudden, and if I was able to show you the footage, I could show you that.
Where are the midfield?
Again, Bruno Fernandes. And this is Bruno Fernandes, who had an absolutely fantastic
game.
This is Bruno Fernandes, who is known for creating big chances. This is their main threat. This is the guy that has allowed Erik Tenhag to drop his centre forward that cost him loads of money.
Yeah.
And you're not going to track him back. And Kovacic, when the ball comes to him, is not with him. Great underlapping.
He should be with Fernandes at that point.
To take Ake away, has to go with him there.
Yep, Wan-Bissaka does good there.
Himself, but again, he was scanning, he was looking all the time, and he sees that pass and he plays it first time, taking absolutely nothing away from the pass. The pass is
I think Kyle Walker was also trying to stay with Rashford. He was looking at Rashford.
Even get to him. Absolutely shocking. Honestly. So bad. But it comes back to the system, having players in the right places. 52 or 50.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else he's gonna talk about.
Garnacho, Kobe Mainoo, I thought was great as well. And look, to a man, I thought they showed the right application.
I think he's gonna start yapping now.
Season when it comes to shots on target.
He's gonna start yapping now. I just wanted to see how Man United were able to do.
Doku to then get himself that little yard of space. And then he gets that shot off.
The shimmy and then the shot.
Has got to save it. Individual mistakes for
Yeah.
the truth around it. the other side of it is, if you sack him now that you've won the FA Cup final, whoever comes in now, those shoes are harder to fill.
Yep, he'll have to.
Why have you sacked him when that's not going to win you the league? So there is a lot of difficulties here, and it's a very tough decision.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. Like, whatever we did against City to win the FA Cup is not gonna win us the league, because you have to play different systems against the Sheffields, the Bournemouths, the Arsenals. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to play different systems every time. I don't want to eat into his views. I just wanted to see what he has to say, what he had to say about the tactics and how Erik Tenhag outsmarted Pep. Because Pep came out and said that his tactics were dog shit. You know what I'm saying? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in my next video. Take care and peace. Watch this, man. Watch this.